that from here with the first person angle I can actually line up a lot better. And look at that! Sure, you get 3 strikes or whatever, but the Sentinels really don't do much. What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on No Man's Sky. When we left off in the last episode, we were continuing the storyline, and we found Apollo while looking for Artemis. Seems like we ran into the wrong guy. But then they started this mission, which, while it is still part of the Awakening storyline, had more to do with base building, and this main mission only says expand and staff your new home. Construct terminals for specialist researchers, find recruits aboard space stations, etc. And then you get this secondary mission, which is base computer archives. Now, I've done a few of these because there wasn't really any interactive. It wasn't like Apollo was popping up telling us things or anything like that. So all we're really doing, I traveled around a bit. This is actually a paradise planet, so I figured, not a bad spot to set up a temporary base while we go through this archive computer base mission type thing. So what I did was I was going through this where you access the base computer, and then it'll usually give you a new blueprint, some other things, and it tasks you to build something, and then you have to wait X amount of time before a new archive is open. So at the moment, I'm kind of locked a little bit with this or gated, I should say, not locked, gated at how fast I can move through the story because of this. Like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, so this is just the main thing, rename base, upload base, etc. But normally it'll say access archives or something like that, and you can see on the screen, construct a personal force field, install an inventory, technology slot, blah, 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 blah. So what it's saying is I need to install the force field mod on the multi-tool. And so there's that. And when I do that, it'll probably then give me like a 2-hour timer or something. Actually, if I had thought it through, I should have done that before I logged off last time, and then it would have been reset by the time I started to record today, but whatever. So far, we have gotten a storage crate out of this. It did give us a blueprint for it, so I've been trying to store some stuff. Let's see, what else do we have? Do I have anything else I can store here? We've got a lot of chromatic metal that we've kind of built up. Okay, so nothing really I can store here. I think that's good to go. I did find that you can seemingly access this or store to it from anywhere. Where if I try and do, here's an example, like from the freighter, if I try and pull from this, it'll say not aboard freighter, not aboard freighter, but I can send it to the container in the base, so that's kind of cool. I also haven't really worked at actually building the base or anything like that. I just kind of threw everything down and was just working on stuff. So, I did do a couple of things. We're doing pretty decent on our money and our nanite clusters, as you can tell here, and my multi-tool, I believe I upgraded this off camera. If I didn't, then you probably already are aware of that and I just forgot about it. But basically, it's an A-class rifle category, I believe. Is it rifle, right? Yes, rifle class. And so we have the mining beam. I got this from some mission or something that I did that increased the fuel efficiency and all that, so I added that there. Have our advanced mining laser there, the terrain manipulator. I added a pulse spitter because I was watching some YouTube videos and found this is the closest to like an assault rifle. It does use a little bit more ammo, but it's really cool. And then I got a upgrade for that, put it next to there. This was another thing that came with an upgrade from a mission, so I just stuck it over here because I don't actually have a bolt caster anymore. And then these 3 guys are amazing for making money. So I talked about this in one of my other episodes when I mentioned some tips for making money. That you could use a scanner, but I didn't have 3. I have 3 S-ranked scanners. Now, You can't do a fourth because things will start shutting down. There's only 3 of the same kind of technology. But, as you can see here, just quick math, 8,000% flora, 6,500 fauna, 6,500 flora, 6,500 fauna, 8,600 fauna, 8,600 flora. So you can tell really quick that when you add all that up, it makes you a pretty good amount of money. I'm making like, I think it's around I think the lowest I make now off of plants is like 65,000, and for certain kinds of animals and things, you can get up to. I think I've only seen 200,000 or 300,000, but I've heard that you can get up to like 5 or something just from scanning things, which makes it really cool. And that's not been a bad way of making money. I've also upgraded my fighter ship a little bit. I've added an S upgrade to the infra knife, so it not only reduces heat, but it also adds fire rate and damage. I've added a positron ejector because I saw this on a YouTube video, and this thing is like a shotgun up close. Like, it has a very limited range, but when you get into range, this is lethal. Like, this is detrimental. And then this wasn't too expensive, so I just grabbed rocket launchers. I've added a teleport receiver because that was part of a mission, part of the base building thing. I had to add that. And I've gotten a couple life support modules from the missions, but as you can see, I've got them full, so I need to get a couple more exosuit slots. This I added because it sounded cool. I have no idea what it does. I've never been able to make it work. It says activate jump systems by rapidly pressing A, and it adds an advanced jump system, whatever that means. Well, when I rapidly tap A, I just bounce around like a jetpack bunny rabbit, so I don't really know what that does, or if anything. I'm really tempted to remove it. But yeah, so I've been trying to do off-camera grind stuff. Oh, I did get an Atlas pass, by the way. I've been doing some different missions, like investigating destroyed buildings and stuff like that, and manufacturing facilities. And it's actually a crafted product, which I feel is kind of weird. It's 200 copper and a microprocessor to make a V1. But the fact that you can have up to 35 of them, I'm kind of like, why? You don't really need more than one. So I don't know why it's not like these where you just have an item slot, but whatever. So yeah, one big way that I've found to make nanites money and a bunch of other things is missions. Personally, for me, I'm not using any of the refinery duplication glitches and things like that. I'm trying to do it legitimately. They've patched the cryo pump. You might have noticed that we don't have that freighter from the end of the last episode. I spent probably an hour in a starport checking all the different stuff. Couldn't find a single one with cryo pumps or the hot ice or the aromatic compound or whatever it's called, condensate. Googled it, found out they patched it, died a little bit inside. So that method is not gone, it's just not really viable. Because you can effectively, I mean, I have the blueprint, right? I have the there it is. I still have the blueprint for it. So if you get the blueprints for like thermic condensate and hot ice, and you get the blueprints for the like all that kind of stuff, one of the things I keep hearing on the forums and stuff is to buy all the base ingredients things and then just build up the stuff that you need. But I also ran into another good contender, which is this guy, portable reactor. Now the other one I've heard about is starship fuel or freighter fuel or something like that. I thought it meant this. Not what it meant. This isn't a terrible option, though. You could do, because it's just dihydrogen and tritium you can get like all over the place in space, so it's not that big a deal. The dihydrogen is going to be your weak point, but a 200-ton one sells for 80,000, which isn't bad. I mean, you could, if you wanted to be kind of grindy, you could actually make a decent profit off of that. But my goal at the moment for money making, until, you know, unless you guys have better alternatives, is stuff like this where you end up finding all the blueprints you need to make that, and then sell those kind of thing, or find the base ingredients and things like that. There's all kinds of guides for farming and things. We're just not there yet. So Speaking of building things, I need to get some ion batteries, and I might need to stop by my freighter and pick up a tech module so that we can make our force field. Alrighty, so we're at the station here. I actually stopped in to grab what I needed. I just decided to buy what I needed because I think they were only like 60,000 for the tech modules, and I'm kind of thinking I can just scan something and get that back. So let's stick this somewhere it's gonna be out of the way. Maybe over here works. What do I need for this? Oh, same setup. So let's do that. So that'll update our mission. As you can see here, install the personal force field in your multi-tool. Now I'm guessing it'll say go back, wait for additional data to be restored. Now, you might notice it keeps coming up saying creating debris. I don't know why, but it won't change that tooltip, even though I've changed the mission. So we're still waiting. It's probably going to be a couple hours. But these are all the missions that I have open, and this is what I was talking about in the beginning part about making money, and particularly nanites. Not necessarily units, but nanites, this is one of the best ways I've found is doing all these missions. A lot of times because they overlap. There's one like scan 5 plants. Well, if you find multiples that say scan 5, 10, 5, 15, 5, whatever, you can pick all of them, and then you only have to scan the maximum amount and all the missions clear, type of thing. Another example is pictures for exploratory type missions. I did one off camera, and it was 5. I had 5 different missions that all said pictures for an airless planet. So I took one picture, it cleared all 5 missions. So it's a nice way if you've been to a few different systems. And actually another example of why this is awesome is as you build up your rank, for example, rank 8, defend a freighter, a reward is a superconductor, which, if my memory serves, is like 2 million, 1.5 million. They're basically like cryo pumps, I think. So that's a pretty quick way. You obviously have to do the missions to get to that rank, but defend a freighter, make millions, not a bad option. And then if you've traveled around a bit, you can use these teleporters to go back and forth between a bunch of different stations, check in with the mission terminal people, and you can stack up a bunch of these and do them all at once. I happened to pick one that was for hunting down pirates. Now, last time I tried this, it didn't go well, but I have a bit more of a heavily armed ship this time, so I'm hoping that we'll have better results. And I did go into first person. Oh, my fleet's back, and I've got damage. That's not good. Yeah, we have a problem, blah, 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 blah. Oh, they were still out on missions. Okay, we'll recall them. Where are they at? They're there. And I kind of went back to first person in ships for one reason, control. Not controllers like buttons, but control of precision. Like, I can be a lot more precise with my crosshair, I feel anyway. The other is you get your radar screen down at the bottom, where it kind of shows you where things are in relative relation to you and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know, when I'm exploring, I really like the third person. When I'm, like, combat stuff, I tend to think I do better in first person. I actually like the third person better, but I think I do better in first person. I don't know, you guys can let me know. I'm still a terrible pilot. Oh, here's what I meant to show you guys. So, my weapons are already doing pretty good work on this guy, but if we're in range, I'm gonna get a good hit. Stand still. Stupid little jackrabbit, get over here. Oh, out of range. Come on. Get in here. Come on, do a strafing run on me. There we go. Boom! Like, at close range, I love that thing. It just does so much damage. So, yeah, I guess I need to fix my frigates and send them back out. That's another way you can make pretty good money or items and stuff, is to send your frigates out on missions. Works out pretty good. I've picked up a couple other ones, I think, since the last episode. One of them I actually got stuck on, because when I got out of the ship, it, like, warped me under the landing pad and I fell. Luckily I landed on something. But so now I've gotten to where I hold the exit button and the jump button at the same time, so I kind of leave with a little hop in case it does anything that I don't want it to. So yeah, I guess I need to fix this. So it just occurred to me that apparently I haven't actually been inside a Korvax frigate, apparently. Or maybe not Korvax, but whatever this frigate design actually is. I've never seen this before, so I thought maybe it would be cool to get a look-see, so that you guys could see it in case you hadn't seen one. I didn't even realize they had this much of an interior, or some of them could have this much of an interior. So that's kind of cool that this one is so internal. Like, a lot of the ships I've been on is all the outside scaffolding walkways. This one feels a bit more like my freighter that's kind of like inside. Plus, everything's right here. All the damage stuff is right here. It's very cool. I also found, quite honestly, one of the coolest ways to make some of this stuff, like when it last episode when it required platinum and I was like, eee, you know, one of the easiest ways to get some of that stuff is, I don't have my lamp on, I can't see anything, is when you're on the planet, if you find supply depots and stuff like that, or even just the manufacturing facilities in places where you're going to get attacked, that's another reason I was in first person, is you can use your ship and essentially use it like a battering ram and break down the door kind of thing, which is really cool, and it kind of feels awesome. But the supply depot, like the sentinels get all mad at you and all that kind of stuff, you don't even have to bother with them. You can basically just shoot the supply depot stuff from the air and get a bunch of stuff from it, so that's a very viable option for getting random loot. Okay, so yet another example of why I would recommend doing that is, as you may have caught right there, I just got 160,000 from sending one of my freighters out. I've got 4 albumin pearls, which admittedly are much more nerfed than they used to be. Ereticite, which I forget exactly what that's used for, but it's not cheap, so it's not a bad one to have. We got some of this relatticed art crystal, and I think there was, the Korvax cubes. All that came from the one mission that was finished. Apparently that one that the other ships I just messed with were returned from was all the same one. I sent 3 ships on one mission. So with that, it was a little bit of a bigger mission, but still pretty good haul for not having to really do anything. Speaking of supply depots, what do you know? But if there isn't one right there. So I used one of the signal boosters and found one. There was also this, there's also that beacon thing over there, but I flew by it, didn't really look all that interesting. But see, this is what I was meaning, that from here with the first person angle, I can actually line up a lot better. And look at that! Sure, you get 3 strikes or whatever, but the sentinels really don't do much. At least not to a ship. They would on the ground, but in one of these ships, not so much. So it makes it really easy to raid these, in my opinion. And actually it makes it really easy to fight like anything sentinel-wise, walkers, doesn't really matter. And let's see, if we get a little bit closer... I like shooting the sentinels, actually, it's kind of fun. And I also found that if you have the right equipment, you can actually mine somewhat with this, too. So I think there was a dihydrogen pocket. Oh, there's guys. Like that. It's fun. Or like that, it says there's no free slots because I'm filling up with stuff, apparently. Should go to... Oh, we got nitrogen. Cool. And sulfurine. I haven't figured out... I've read some of that online. Where... oh, where'd I go? Sorry if I'm making anybody dizzy. I read online where, you know, kind of the tree progression for doing what I was talking about, where you make stuff off of gases and things and then turn it into other stuff and whatnot. I don't think I got anything off of that. But whatever. So, nitrogen was one of those gases that can be very useful in crafting later on. But I was actually looking... Oh, there they are. There we go. There's two. I don't think I ever did this much Sentinel combat in the first time I played through the game. But I've done a lot more this round. But yeah, I definitely like doing it this way. I mean, you can basically just never leave your ship and it's super cheap. But anyways, I did see that while the tooltip says expand and whatever, every once in a while it pops up with Ghost in the Machine and says build a cylindrical room. So I think that's going to be my next target task. Alrighty, so let's see where this gets us. If we were to place that, let's see if it updates our mission at all. Expanding the base. Oh, we got a new one. Okay, build a construction terminal. Interesting. So now we have like 2 side missions going on. I thought it was just the one. I stand corrected. What is this going to be under, though? Equipment? Specialist terminal. Ah, construction terminal. Okay, there we go. I can't put it just out here, but I need a door. Alright, hold on. We need a door of some kind. Oh, really? Everything requires pure ferrite. Hold on, I gotta make some more. Alrighty, so in a rather probably predictable turn of events, we have been tasked with finding an overseer. So I made the ferrite that I needed. I built a door and a construction terminal, and then it directed me here to find an overseer. So, kind of reminds me of the original way that they were doing the building quests when they first launched it. Is it really you? Forgive me, I've been searching for such a long time. I'm contracted to aid you in this and every cycle. Don't worry, everything was paid for a long time ago. It's all quite above board. As the stranger speaks, a smell assaults me, a pheromone infesting my brain, giving me memories of places I never visited, of actions I never took, of myself in a mirror, aged and alone, of this Gek cradling its fallen brethren, of a bargain made many years from now, a contract signed across the cosmos. The vision ends and the Overseer remains. The Overseer promises to expand my base, allowing me to recruit other workers. They require a construction terminal to get started. That's different. There's something compelling about this Gek. They shall feel at home in my home. They shall feel at home in my home. I will be at my station before you know it. See you soon. That's interesting. They did that very differently than last time, actually. Because last time there wasn't this whole, like, storyline to it. You just hired somebody. This whole... You've hired me last cycle and beforehand and visions of future. It almost makes it sound like you've been doing this before. And now it's like the new era and you're at it again kind of thing. So let's see if we can't get more out of him. Alrighty. So back here at the base, let's go ahead in and check with our Gek friend. Isn't he supposed to have, like, a chair or something? Seems a little out of place there. You have so much to learn, so much to see, and this place will be our home amidst the infinite. Take this glass and let starlight flood into our jolly home. Formula for glass. Frost crystal. Oh, I remember that. Everything pours through glass in the end, but there's time enough for that. There are other things that we have to do. If you prepare chromatic metal, I will use it to calibrate a science terminal suitable for a Korvax entity. Korvax have suffered terribly at the hands of my people. Be kind to them, I beg of you. I found my way to the stars and met these people, these Korvax, Gek, and Vy'keen, all with their own stories. But though their empires have fallen and their structures have crumbled into the earth, this base remains immaculate, free of dust and decay. It is as if it was made for me. Or made by me, to be more accurate? The Overseer asked me to gather chromatic metal in preparation for the recruitment of a Korvax scientist. Pretty sure we already did that. Sales Gek Ryrenbeer is already making themselves useful. A science terminal, a new Korvax guest, and all for just a handful of chromatic metal. So I'm guessing we have to build a terminal for him? Or them? Wait, seriously? Collect. Overseer. Oh, we can probably just talk to him now. Yeah, return. There you are again, traveler. I am sure you have the required materials this time. The Overseer speaks strangely, implying that we have performed this encounter before. I have no memory of such meetings. I ask who paid them for this service they are performing for me. They laugh and claim that my child did many years from now. I do not know what they are talking about. The Overseer asked me for the chromatic metal. So I wonder if travelers can actually travel through space-time, if that's a thing. Perfect, friend. I knew you would succeed. Just what I need to finish the science terminal plans. Alright, there we go. Chromatic metal. Magnetized ferrite. We have littered the universe in our greed, traveler. This planet is no exception, but there is much that can be done with the litter. Or with litter. Make your way to an abandoned structure and harvest the data from their terminals. I shall use it to fashion us plans for a storage container. Sales Gek Ryrenbeer is reflective for a Gek. They almost seem to regret the greed that characterizes their people. They wish to make something new from the remains of the old. Is this just greed in disguise or something else? Whatever their motive, the Overseer claims I will find data for a storage container blueprint in a nearby structure. You won't regret it, friend. I've marked you a site that seems to be ripe for exploitation. But don't we have a start? Yeah, there it is. I was going to say returned. Return. Yeah, because we already have one of those. Oh. Agree to hurry, I guess. Interesting, considering that we already have a storage container right there. I did find an interesting little trick if you want to take things to and from your freighter. Like I said, you can deposit, but you can't withdraw from the freighter unless you're on it. However, what is it that we needed? Magnetized. You can send it to a storage container and then access it via the storage container. So that's another option you have if you don't want to use the actually go up to the station. Wow, I can't talk. The freighter. If you don't want to actually go up to the freighter, that's what you can do. Alright. Oh, limit to 1 per base. But specialist terminals limited to 1... Oh, per room. I read that wrong. Okay. Okay. I gotcha. I guess we could go off this way, maybe? That's right where I put his terminal, isn't it? Oh, it'll let me, though. Everything is pure ferrite. Gosh, this is so expensive. I don't think I have that kind of ferrite. Holy crap. I need so much stuff. So, we're at the coordinates now. I decided to fly over here until I can find more pure ferrite. I can just mine it, I suppose. I was trying to refine stuff when I didn't have enough and things, but there's a couple of these plants, like that, for example, that they just give off pure ferrite. So I could probably just mine up some. One thing I also wanted to point out was these whispering eggs. They've been kinda sorta nerfed a little bit, but they're not too bad. They're still a decent way to start off making money. But I found this out online. I don't have the materials I need, but you can actually place a signal booster right like there, like in the middle of the nest. and then just jump on top of it. Stand there and then nuke the eggs and grab them, and then just wait. For some reason, the swarm cannot get you up on the signal booster, at least for now, unless they patch it. So since I walked by them, I just thought that would be a interesting little tidbit to give you guys in case you didn't already know. User identified. The place the Overseer has led me to has long since fallen into disrepair. Its panels are buried beneath the same oily, pulsating fauna that I have seen before in long-abandoned buildings. The air is fetid? Fetid? I'm not sure what that is. And damp. I power up the terminal with little hope of success, but to my surprise, it buzzes noisily and springs to life. My Overseer's intuition has served me well so far. I shall have to trust that these schematics contain the required data. And I guess that means I have to return. Yeah, okay. I'm a little torn with this because I would like to make a lot more progress before the next episode. I would like to get the base more established and learn some more schematics and all this kind of stuff. But I'm actually feeling like they've tied the base building a bit more into the storyline with the whole, like, you know, your child or offspring or whatever they called it, was the one that hired me in the future and all that kind of stuff. Like, it ties kind of to the whole Traveler thing. It does make me wonder if Travelers can go back and forth and it wasn't the offspring at all, but it was actually, like, you, and you haven't done it yet, kind of thing. Something like that. So I kind of don't want to skip that, as far as everybody had mentioned they prefer the live versions of the commentary, so I don't really want to do the post stuff again, but at the same time I don't really know if I can keep moving forward without doing that, unless I go this route of the blueprint analyzer and just start farming the data and unlocking some stuff that way. You know, that might be another option, but if there's going to be more dialogue things, I might have to wait on it. You are back. I'm so glad, friend. I will extract the storage blueprint as soon as I have the data. It is good to see the Geks so invested in the success of our home. They are clearly happy to see me, energized for the task at hand. Give the data. Here is your blueprint as promised. He looks so proud of himself. A trivial task. Their code was just sitting there to be manipulated. Oh, okay, so this gives us all of the other crates. Now then, do you think, friend, that we should put the science terminal to use, fill our home with the clicks and lights of the Korvax? It would be so lovely. The Overseer feels the base would benefit from a Korvax scientist. They would like to see good use made of the blueprint they worked so hard on. Sure. I'm so glad we had this chat. Alright, so I guess I need to build another room, and then the Korvax scientist is going to be next on the list. Alright, so, yeah, because we're definitely going to have to start getting some storage going. That's the one complaint I have always had with this game, is there's not nearly enough storage. And I know. If you get one of those hauler-type ships, you get, like, 32 slots, and if you get a big freighter, it's, like, 34 or something. I know. I just feel like crates should hold more. That's all. They have 5 slots. I mean, literally, my backpack can hold more than these can. I mean, well, I think. If you have 250 per slot, this can hold 1,000. So you'd need 4. And we have 4 rows of 4. So that would be 4 slots. Okay, so they hold a little bit more. Like, actually, 4 rows of 4, plus 2 if you don't count the Atlas pass. Actually, they don't. They don't hold more. Plus, we have the, we have this, which can hold 500, so that would only be 2. So, 2, 4, 6, 8. So there is 4. So literally right now my backpack can hold as much as the crate can. And I can continue to upgrade this. So I've never been happy with the crates. freighters was an improvement. The expandable inventory was an improvement. The the cargo slots, whatever they're called, high capacity, whatever. You know, I call them cargo slots. Those were an improvement, but I've never been happy with the crates. I mean, like, even in Minecraft, when you do a chest and then a double chest, it holds a ton of stuff. And they're super cheap. These are not so much. Well, actually, what are these now? I have to be careful because some of the things I'm familiar with is not what they are now. So, magnetized ferrite and sodium. I mean, it's not too expensive, but it's still not like, you know, you gotta think, like, what is it? Minecraft's like wood, you know? It's like wood planks. It's like the cheapest thing you can get. So I think these should be like, I don't know, 50 ferrite dust or something like that. And I understand the science behind its dust. Pure ferrite is more like working with real iron. Magnetized would be like, I don't know, some kind of magnetized iron? I don't even think that's a thing. I'm not sure if that's a thing or not. I don't know if iron can be magnetized. I'm not sure if it's magnetic or not. Anyways, off topic totally. But yeah, I'm going to try and do what I can. I'll probably get the terminal set up. I may not go get a Korvax scientist yet, but I might get the terminal set up. And I'll probably start building out of wood or whatever the cheapest material I can find is and actually make some cuboid type areas at the base where we can kind of keep them over here for now, and then we can keep our main base and storage lockers and everything somewhere else so that I can make a little bit more progress. And be a little bit more securely established. I did put this in this area. Some of you might be wondering why. I never really explained. I thought it was a cool area. It's kind of down in a hole, essentially. I was going to say a crevice, but it's like, no, this is kind of just a chasm in the middle of the area. So when you're flying along, it kind of looked like it was secretive and secluded. And then I also thought if we're here long enough, we could build up and make platforms all the way around the ring, and then it comes down here, stuff like that. I don't know if we'll be here this long, or if we'll end up moving the base, but still, I thought it was cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we're going to wrap things up here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.